everybody, and welcome back to the channel here on Global Conquerors on our weekly podcast, Conquest. This is episode 20, and you see today the layout is a little bit different as we have a special guest who I'll introduce very soon. But first off, you know me, your general host, SMGFrenzy Mokhtar, joined with our co-host,
Assassin, but it's different on my screen because I'm over on your left. It's probably gonna look different anyways. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
And
Back with
then,
another. Wait, I was gonna say,
yeah. And then
and
we
I was
have
gonna.
our, if you guys have been with GC for the past 7 years, you may recognize a familiar face. We have Sean.
Wait, is it? I mean, he didn't
No,
really show his
you won't
face.
recognize the face. You might
Oh, that's
recognize the
true.
voice.
Just the voice,
voice.
yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. But Sean,
I
who
said
was
my face
also...
wasn't shown.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you might recognize Sean, who was one of the co-founders of the org. He went on to do his own solo streaming adventures on his channel and his YouTube. But the trio has reunited for episode 20. We have some good gaming and general news topics to talk about, and we're gonna dive right into Fortnite, which had a lot of breaking news, you could say. We're gonna dive first into the first-person shooter that's supposed to come out later this year. I think a lot of us who've played, we've all played shooter games throughout our gaming lives. We're all mostly
main
know.
genre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Halo, COD, you also COD. Like,
Yep.
this is all we know in gaming. And now Fortnite's like, we've been known for third person, and we've had our different events. They had the Lego stuff, they have the music stuff, they have the Rocket League stuff. Now, FPS. How do we think that this is going to develop for Fortnite? Do you think it's going to be the same map, the same rules, or like what's happening here?
Thing is, it might be the same map. I'm not sure. The same rules will make sense, but this is also something they kind of hinted towards with certain weapons. Certain weapons you would aim in and have first person aspects with them.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting to have that. But I think Fortnite's just trying to put themselves on the map as an all around game for everybody right now, especially having that as an aspect because a lot of people are turned off by third person stuff. Because myself in particular, I don't like too many games that are third person. That's one game I can actually play like that. First person gives you a whole different aspect and makes you a lot more immersed in the game than I see.
Okay.
It's something that Battlefield I think does very well also.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously they teased this for like a couple years now. Obviously they teased it with the first person aiming with the certain attachments in the game. So it was teased. It was just a matter of when. But over the times, it seems like they were working towards that with the new movement mechanics, the way the game is running now. So it didn't really come to a shock because we were already seeing like we were heading in that direction with the changes they made to the movement and the way weapons work now. What I'm hearing is it's going to be a separate game mode, same map, hopefully. But it's going to be its own separate game mode, like how there's no builds. So they'll have their own separate version of that, but with no builds and builds. I'm pretty sure we're gonna expect a lot of bugs when this first comes out because I don't think it's gonna be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I still think there's bugs with what they have now.
Oh yeah.
I've experienced many of them.
I believe you. The times we play Fortnite, Fortnite. They're trying to, like you said, they're trying to be an all-around game. We saw what they did with the Lego and so they're just trying to progress and get their game better and get a better audience. Not many people like third persons, but people love Fortnite. So I see what they're going to. I mean, from how Fortnite has evolved, it seems like they're like giving what people want like more than ever. So obviously, with the whole like news about, we'll talk about the is it a press conference, if I'm not mistaken, about what they're releasing?
Yeah.
So, like I said, we kind of saw this coming from a long time ago when they teased it, and then they brought it in with the attachments, and now we're in that, I guess, in that current to go on and move on with that idea that they originally had. I'm guessing they have an engine, or they figured out ways to properly do it without like messing up the whole game like drastically. But I mean, we'll wait to see. I mean, obviously we're gonna play it to test it out. Obviously, we all play. We came from a first person shooter background. Hopefully, if it's good, people are gonna get slammed. Just saying. No.
I find it interesting, especially since you brought up the builds versus no builds aspect. And I wonder, I obviously no builds would work just fine for a Fortnite FPS. I wonder how well builds would, because that would be like a Minecraft POV. And I mean, it can work. It wouldn't be as fluid, I imagine. But obviously, we don't know what they would do. Maybe Fortnite doesn't do the normal map. Maybe they do more of a Halo Call of Duty arena style shooter. We really don't know yet until they do a further press conference, but it's fun to theorize and think what they could do since they already have the seeds that they've been building on the past years, like you said, by adding these new movement mechanics, by adding weapons that already zoom you into first person, and by trying to cater to all audiences, how we have Lego, how we have Minecraft, and our next topic, which we'll talk about, them adding what's the game? Fall Guys into Fortnite, which since Epic now owns that property as well, is going to be very interesting if they continue to support Fall Guys later down the road.
All right. One thing before we move on, or like anyone else has, do you think that once they add first person, we'll be seeing something with VR eventually with them
More
because of
likely,
it?
I believe so.
I would say
They
so.
I mean,
seem to
I would
be
assume
going
that.
around in every avenue they can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if that's, and then you notice that the movement is kind of catering to like how COD player, like the COD, uh, I guess characters move, and then Halo, and then the way they move
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I would see why they've been doing this over time to get into that. I mean, so into the, I guess you could say, the first person shooter aspect. But I wouldn't be surprised, because once they release this, I wouldn't be surprised if they start with some VR stuff, or like, you know, and oh, it's gonna be so funny seeing people crank 90s like this with their headsets and everything.
Well, like
But
the
I mean,
VR
I
stuff,
could,
I think, makes sense, especially we talked about a few weeks ago about the Fortnite Disney deal, the $2 billion deal, where they're building a whole universe, that's not just going to be shooting. You're going to have mini games, you're going to have like movie events, collaborations, everything. And I imagine VR is going to be extremely crucial for that type of atmosphere in game. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Fortnite have VR support either late this year or early next year for going forward with creative mode, with the FPS, maybe even the third person mode, which would be really weird, but you never know. That they're experimenting and allowing the gaming world to see new concepts and how one game can hold and cater to every gamer, which is it's very, no one thought, we didn't see this coming when we were in high school, and it's still surprising us now. So
see, no, I'm gonna say one thing to that point.
Yeah.
And this might get a lot of people mad. I don't care. Fortnite copies everybody.
I mean,
hear me out with this. When Fortnite first came out, you could not respawn your teammates.
True.
When they died. Apex then came out, and I love Apex. It's my favorite BR by far. It was the one game you could actually go in, take your teammate's banner, and reboot them into the game. A few months after that, Fortnite adds that aspect. Now they have that generally. Fortnite did not have sliding. Now they have sliding that's similar to Apex. If you slide down the hill, you'll keep sliding and go faster. And there's a lot of stuff like that.
Okay.
Then if you look back at it, you talk about how we were not expecting this. We were. Roblox. Roblox is the one game that has everything to cater to somebody in every different way.
Mm-hmm.
So what it seems to me is Fortnite is trying to be another Roblox and have every type of game you can have. Roblox has that FPS. They have the VR. They have the third person. They have a whole bunch of different type of things that people just make, and it's getting even better now. I've recently played they have like different FNAF games and stuff on there that you would think would be made in a high level studio, but it's just on Roblox.
No, yeah. Roblox, that comparison to Fortnite is interesting. I think I've talked to you before of Angel as well, because I guess the main thing between Roblox and Fortnite is that Roblox, 99.9% of the games are not made by Roblox. They're made by creators like me, you, anybody can make a game. Like, my game. Like the Disney game. That's made by me. That's not made by Disney or Roblox.
Children.
Yeah, children. There's like the FNAF games, which is made by various fans of the game, not anybody related with FNAF. There's multiple Roblox games that aren't made by anyone that works at Roblox, while Fortnite is, I would say, 80% all developer focused, and you have the creative aspect, which is all community focused. So that's why that comparison is interesting, because sure, Fortnite is going in a Roblox type route, but not with the Roblox type avenue of creators making those new game modes is the Fortnite developers themselves making those new game modes, which is more similar to like how social media apps copy each other, with like all apps copying TikTok's features like on Instagram with Reels, Snapchat with their section, YouTube with YouTube Shorts. It's the same way
Yeah.
when they see something that's popular, they then adopt it to themselves and make it their own thing. But yeah.
Yeah, and even to that point as well, there's if the creators can even make games on Fortnite themselves.
Mhm.
But people have been making a lot of stuff, and especially using the now they're able to use the actual Fortnite engines and make a bunch of different stuff.
Mhm.
So that aspect to me is okay. Now you're really bringing a little bit more of a Roblox type into it, but you're allowing other people to create more games on your game itself.
Mhm. No, it's interesting. It's I would say like it's closer instead of closer to Roblox, I'd say it's closer to like Forge and Halo, where people would like make like there would be like the Husky Raid game types. There'd be like the duck hunts. There'd be the hide and seeks. All the separate things that creators would come in and use the game's engine to make their own games. But I do get what you're saying there, and it's going to be interesting to see how far Epic develops their engine, because one of our topics is how they're using Unreal Engine 5 for new
Yeah.
physics and new just new abilities in general. But to transition this topic, actually, that is what we're going to next: Unreal Engine 5 and Fortnite. Either of you can take it away if you want to for this one.
What? Me?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh God. Well, we know how the engine. It looks insane. We've seen a bunch of people make some insane stuff. It looks very realistic. So hearing that Fortnite is gonna do this literally brings us back to our previous topic about first person. It looks like they're going to make the game really, really realistic, and it could be a good thing and a bad thing. But obviously, this engine gives you more to work with. Obviously, a lot more to play with, and give the game a new sense. And I guess you could say, how would I say this?
It
I
spices
I
it up
can't
a
think of
bit,
it.
you know.
It boosts it more than it pushes it more to its potential than what it is doing now, or exceed its. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but um, I just know that they're going to do something with the engine, and it could either make or break the game. But from the way they made it sound, is just to give more of a creative feel to the people that create stuff, which if it seems like it sounds like something Roblox does, but we're not going to talk about that because that's a different topic.
I think with
But
the engine change in general, I think Fortnite has already proven that they're capable of doing it. I know you guys probably remember playing Season Zero, how the game looked very cartoony and stuff like that.
Mm.
I think it was the middle of like Season 2 or 3. Randomly, you had that graphics update to the game out of nowhere that changed the whole layout of how good the game looked, how detailed everything is, to where you have now with the chapters and everything's a lot more detailed than that. So I think they're showing us they're capable of doing that. And having Unreal Engine 5, with it being in development as long as it has, you starting off Unreal Engine 5 was not some people wanted to use it because it was very buggy and many different things can go wrong with it. Being has been developing for so long, I think there's a lot of good things that can come from it, a lot of interesting things they'll be able to do with it.
Yeah, now that you mentioned with the Unreal Engine 5, especially how it's been buggy with certain features, we know that Fortnite has tried to be accessible to as many devices as possible. We know that they're returning to iOS later this year. They're still supported by last-gen consoles such as the Xbox One and the PS4. They're still supported by most PCs built from 2016 and upwards. So I wonder how they'll be able to balance their support range that has allowed them to grow such a major audience with an engine that has not been known as the most stable, but is very advanced. And to speak more about the graphics and features that is supposed to come with the new game, they've already shown how physics are changing. And I think those can be used in many ways, such as seeing in like obbies, where you can have physics trigger when you complete certain tasks, or different map movements that you have to time with. It's going to be very creative to see what they can do with this, and it's going to be very fun to see how Fortnite creative, and maybe even the main game, when you like destroy a structure, maybe instead of the whole thing just crumbling like in the air and like into dust, maybe you see buildings tip over and stuff like that. It would be very
So going a
interesting to
more
see.
Battlefield way.
Exactly, where it's more dynamic environment where objects are still on the map, but in a completely different state. Like where you've seen the Lego game where you cut down a tree, the tree will roll over. Maybe you see that now brought over to the main game.
Mhm.
So it's
so
very interesting.
I know Fortnite. I don't know if it's still in the game, but I remember when you would cut down a tree, it would turn into like a log. I guess is that something in the game?
I
That was
think
Lego.
yeah,
You
Lego
know what I'm
has
talking
it.
about? No, but like in the main game,
I think
I'm
the
pretty sure that
main
I
game.
remember the main game had it. Sorry to cut you off, but I
No, no.
remember the main game had it.
Yeah, when you would harvest materials for build, yeah. Because if the tree wouldn't fall over, it would just break and you have materials as logs now.
Mm.
Okay,
At one point, there was, I think, the biggest trees would turn into like a giant log that you could also mine, but they stopped
Yep.
doing that, and you can only now find the big logs already pre-cut on the ground. But I get what you remember. They did have that at some point.
so you think the reason why they got rid of it because of I guess the engine they were running on it was really buggy? I mean, it was buggy. Don't get me wrong. Do you think the reason? I guess I mean they're trying to make it more, I guess more environmental. I don't know if that's a word,
They're
but
just trying to make
to
it
give.
easier for people to harvest materials.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to. I mean, they're. I feel like we've talked about Fortnite a lot these last couple of months. They've been exceeding, or they've been coming like, I guess, at a fast rate and throwing people off, but like in a good way. Because I mean, we there was rumor about the Lego collab. I mean, there was rumors about that, but I didn't remember about, I guess, the Rock Band version. I didn't hear about that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
There
you have
wasn't.
the Rock Band and then you have the Rocket League. I don't know. So you guys seem to be a lot more well versed in Fortnite than I do. I've been more on the Apex train lately, and
Hmm.
there's been a lot of stuff going on with that lately. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We talked about that in our previous podcast about the hackers joining into the middle of a goddamn pro tournament.
And the thing is, it's a well-known hacker. I know the whole story with him and how that goes back so long ago.
Hmm.
So it's just interesting to see how that is playing out. And I follow
Um,
Apex competitively, religiously, so that's just something I do. So
yeah,
Hmm.
we watched a little bit of it, like when I think Optic were on the verge of winning it, and then they ended up choking it to TSM. I remember watching that
I
final.
remember that final. Yeah,
I
that's when
remember
Sniper was
watching
on
it
TSM.
the whole way through. Like I remember watching it,
Yep.
and I was like, "Oh my god, Optic are really about to win it in like in the first couple games. Like they're about to." Nope, they let
This
it
is
go.
why you can't be an Optic fan, which we'll also talk about later today with the CDL Major, because ooh, things hurt over there. But
Yeah,
just
I'm a CSM fan, unfortunately. So
that's all good. No, no, it's all good. But to continue
thank
on
you.
with Fortnite, we did already mention this, but Fortnite also is adding Fall Guys to the game, and already hinted like I wonder how they're going to, or if they're going to continue support of the actual Fall Guys game, because as we've
I,
seen with other titles like Rocket League does still get support despite having its own game mode in Fortnite, but it's also not necessarily the Rocket League game itself. From what we know so far of Fall Guys, it seems that they are entirely adding Fall Guys to Fortnite, but also adding a custom feature where you can create your own Fall Guys maps in Fortnite. So the difference there with Rocket League and Fall Guys is a bit different. Do you two think that Fall Guys, its own separate entity, will continue to exist?
With the creativity you'll have in Fortnite, I think it will still continue to exist. I think its player base will transfer over to Fortnite though with the creativity you can have.
Mhm.
um, I mean, I still think I mean, it'll still be there. It's just not many people will be playing it. I mean, I think Fortnite is doing this to pull the fan base from whatever they have left over there to Fortnite, and I guess to build their base. I mean, I think the game will still be there. I mean, if Fortnite's bringing it over to, I mean, revive it in their way,
Mhm.
because I mean, they own it. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing this to revive it because, I mean, I saw the trailer. I saw what would you call those little monsters or the
We just
characters?
call them beans. I don't
Oh, okay, the
know.
beans jumping on a Fortnite launchpad.
Mhm.
So, are we expecting like a character to come out for the game, or would that hitbox be really too big?
Mm,
I don't
Because
know.
I
That'd be
mean, I could see
interesting.
this coming to Lego Fortnite, um, the racing game. Um,
I
I mean, I would
mean,
expect the music to transfer over to the rock thing. So
Fortnite
I
has
don't know.
characters that has different hit like body sizes, but they try to keep the hitboxes pretty similar for some of them. So if you use a slimmer character that's a little bit slimmer than the main body build, you will
Well,
still get hit despite like it not
okay.
necessarily hitting your character's figures, you know.
Y'all watch Family Guy, right? Y'all see, you knew who Peter Griffin is. Everyone knows who that is, right?
Yeah.
So obviously he's in the game, but his hitbox isn't like his character. They slimmed him down and everything. Do you think we'll see like, I guess, a human version of the character, but with like just the face? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would expect them to release a skin like that if they're doing this in some
I don't
way,
know if they'll
right?
put a Fall Guys character in the actual VR
Mm,
because of the nature of how innocent Fall Guys kind of is.
mm. Also, the same way that we don't see the Lego skins in the actual BR either, because their
Not
hitboxes
yet.
would be. I don't think they will come to the BR. I think the question we're talking about with the hitboxes, I think it's too hard. Too many people will get confused about getting killed for certain reasons when you have a skin that has a completely different hitbox from the others. They are trying to make sure that it's not pay to win. So skins who are more muscular,
I wish COD was like that, but they don't give a. Everyone has a different hitbox. I
Trust me,
don't care.
COD is something else, bro. I'm trying to snipe somebody and it just goes right past their head. I don't know.
If
See,
you
that's why
play
you play
Infinite
Halo.
Warfare, if you play Infinite Warfare and you remember the skinny bot, that was the most brokenest
You want to know what's
character.
funny? That's the exact one I use.
I had to start using it to be able to like compete,
Mhm.
but I hated it because its hitbox was. They made it too realistic to a point where if you're not hitting anything on the actual body, it doesn't register.
Mhm.
But yes, the hitbox is a thing that I was questioning, but I think the game will still exist. If that's your question, if the game will still exist with this, I think it will. Maybe it'll bring over some people from Fortnite to go play that. I guess I don't know. It depends on how Epic is gonna wants to use this marketing tool. I guess in a way.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're doing it to bring over the people from Fall Guys to them or Fortnite to them to help, like, I guess, build the game. But we'll see.
Also think it might be a thing to stop kind of the mobile games in a way.
Mhm.
There's a mobile game that just came out on Xbox maybe a month or so ago. My brother and I played it on stream. It's called Stumble Guys, which is pretty much almost just like Fall Guys. Just different types of events and stuff you do in there, but it's the same premise.
Mhm.
So I think them doing that is also kind of trying to pull people back to the main Fall Guys game.
Mhm.
It's also stop the mobile games from trying to create something so similar. Because I don't think Fall Guys had the methods to stop them from doing that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can see that,
Well,
especially because Fall Guys has been, you could say, almost irrelevant as of late. It has kind of lost momentum. There hasn't been as much discussion, many
bro,
prominent streamers streaming it, many updates,
wasn't
and
it? Bro, and
no,
I'll
go
tell
ahead
you.
because my other point diverges a bit, but
Oh, okay. Well, the last time, when was the last time the game was relevant? COVID, 2020, when everyone was inside playing games.
yeah,
I just remember Courage playing it.
Okay, let me
yeah,
tell you this. I bet you, Montreal didn't even know this. Did you know that Fall Guys had a World Cup?
I did, yes, and it was like
I think I saw it.
I know, like Team Japan eliminated the USA was the last thing I remember, but I don't know who won that.
I don't even know. I didn't even know what was going on. I literally saw someone post Fall Guys finals. I'm like, what? I'm like, there's a Fall Guys had a World Cup,
Mm.
and
That
it
just
was
makes
the
you think of
most
Power World all over again.
Mhm.
Power World. Wait, what happened to that game? I don't hear people talking
That's
about
my
it.
point. That's
Did
my
it really die
point.
out? I remember people were like hyped about it, and everyone started. I guess it's because of
But I
Helldivers.
used to stream it, but it was just so bad to play sometimes, and it was like
Yep.
it just never got updated
all,
properly.
all people used to tell me was capturing and enslaving Pokemons. I'm like, what is wrong with
It
people?
was kind of fun, but it's just the updates and everything on it for console side wasn't there.
Mhm.
You could on PC side they had the game full done. You could have it like how you have Minecraft Realms.
Mhm.
You could load into the map
Hmm.
without the host being there. On Xbox you can't do that.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if they've updated it now. I haven't tried it. But that wasn't the thing for a while, and that's one reason why
Well,
me and my friends stopped playing it.
See,
they
out
gotta
of the,
remember.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say you gotta remember. They gotta remember that the console community is still somewhat big.
Mhm.
It's not crazy, but it's still there. Um, so I mean, they have to cater to those people too.
I mean, out of the
Um,
big new games that have released this year that we've talked about, from Helldivers to Pal Worlds to there's that the one that you play like on a space station. I forgot the name with friends.
Uh, Huh?
Oh, Lethal Company.
Lethal Company. Out
That
of
game is still
Oh,
popular.
that's
What do you
so
mean? That
fun.
game is still
no, that's what I'm saying.
popular.
Out of those games, Pal Worlds is the only one that's fallen off. Helldivers receives updates weekly. Lethal Company is still quite popular. It's basically taking Among Us's place. So
And
it's
the mods
interesting.
on it are just insane.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's community support and there's developer support in those two games versus Pal Worlds, which has kind of lost steam. And I'm curious if behind the scenes, I know this is a little diversion from Fortnite, but behind the scenes, if potentially Nintendo, since they said they were looking into it, might have scared them off away or completely slowed down production since Nintendo said they were going to bring them to court. So I'm assuming the Pal World devs are kind of worried because Nintendo, as we've said, is powerful, very powerful.
Yeah. Well, he just said that the PC version works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And it looks like they maintain it.
Well,
So
the
I
thing
mean,
is, what they did is they ported the game from PC over to console. They didn't optimize the game for console at all,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what a lot of games I've noticed are doing, and I hate it. Which is one reason why I like the Outlast Trials just came out on console recently. Outlast Trials has been out for what, almost 2 years now,
Mm-hmm.
but they just took that long to make sure it got on console properly. So I appreciate development studios actually doing that instead of, oh, we just port the whole game over. And I have all these bugs and stuff that don't work. I have different creatures getting stuck under the map that I can't get back out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's kind of like when a few years ago Angel was trying to get me into Rust, and when they ported Rust to console, it did not work at all.
bro, that thing
don't
was.
tell me, but I did not buy it for a reason.
I
Sir.
bought it, game shared with 2 people with it, and I only played like 30 minutes. I'm like, wait, though, bro. I met a bunch of people that were learning the game. Like, yo, let's build a basic area. We built a platform, and then I never got on the game. We made a whole Discord to recruit people.
Yep. We were set up. Couldn't
We
play
were
the
set
game.
up. The game didn't work. Looked like shit. Should have expected it to not play good if it's not like the one on PC. Because I feel like they try to balance it because I think eventually they were gonna go cross-platform with it, but
The thing that you're able to do in that game is so drastically different. That's the reason why I never got into Rust. Just the building aspect of it. When I was watching people like H June play it, and seeing how you have to destroy one material, get this other material to a certain angle, I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to learn all that. So I'm good. I'll stay away from that. That's why I stopped playing Fortnite, because I can build in Fortnite. I didn't like it. I literally had to have my buttons in Fortnite all customized so I could build properly.
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably remember that, Mox.
I do that, yeah. I mean,
I have
the
my
reason why
controller
like
like
no
that.
builds is amazing because don't gotta worry about that at all. It's all gun skill and movement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but wait, what was the topic? I lost track.
Mox wants to his own diversion to something else. I don't know at this point.
Every diverge went to a whole other diverge, so we're like 10 steps out. But we were on Fortnite, and we're gonna go back to Fortnite. We're saying Fall Guys, like I said. It'll be interesting to see, since Epic has a bunch of updates and more conferences later this year. We'll see if they continue to actually support the main Fall Guys games or if they just port it fully over to Fortnite. But the other big Fortnite update is Fortnite is returning to iOS after their big dispute of Apple, I think 5 years ago. So Fortnite on mobile phones was stuck in chapter 2 for the longest with no updates. And now later this year, I think it's in June or July, Fortnite on mobile will now be back. They'll be able to update and have all the same live events that the consoles and PC editions have. I don't think any of us were big into the iOS scene for Fortnite, but this is still a big market for a lot of people. It is interesting that Epic was finally able to get a resolve with Apple after making a call-out video of them and calling them out time and time again.
Someone was being petty, dude. That's all it was. And I think it was Fortnite because Apple wanted to lower the prices for their V-Bucks. That's the reason why the thing they stopped. Right? Isn't that the reason?
It's a lot of games from microtransactions.
Think Apple was taking cuts from something.
Yeah,
that made it different.
It was for every time you have a mobile game and it has the in-game transactions, Apple took a decent percentage out of it. And Fortnite didn't like it. They thought that they should be allowed to keep all proceeds from their game. But Apple has this rule blanketed in all apps, be it like when you purchase an app or when you purchase in-game content from an app. And like I said, Fortnite didn't like that. Apple said, fine. So they stopped supporting Fortnite. It seems they've come to a deal of sorts. We don't know what it entails currently. Either Fortnite gave in Because Apple's not going to change their code or their rule of ethics for just
No.
one game.
There's no way Fortnite just magically. Why not? There must have been like an agreement. I think they agreed on something because Fortnite were okay without them. They were fine without them. Like we could see, they weren't in it to grab more. They were already ahead, so they must have came to an agreement or someone buzzed. I won't be surprised if we see some Apple Fortnite collabs. Phone comes out. I don't think so. Like how Samsung did that whole thing. I don't think we'll see that, but
Yeah, so you already see it with like Amazon too. Like Amazon will promote Fortnite as well.
like I was saying, that's why I don't think the Apple deal between I guess Fortnite. I don't think they came to an agreement. I think one of them budged. And then they came to an agreement. I don't think they just said, "Oh, I'll give you all of it," or "I'll take this amount." Or they must have, I guess, agreed to like a 40-50-50 or whatever. You know what I mean? Obviously, 40-50 don't make sense, but you know what I mean.
If
They agreed at a
anything,
price range or something
yep.
to do it, but
If anything,
um,
Epic had to budge because, like I said, Apple isn't going to bend the rules just for one company, and also Epic as a business wants to be able to make sure that they're accessible to as many
dude,
users as possible.
these motherfuckers are expanding like hell. They don't care no more. They're taking over everything.
I
Like
can attest that I had a friend in high school who would always play Fortnite. He only ever played on his iPhone.
Mhm.
I know over the past year
we
and
we
maybe last year he had to buy a PlayStation just so that he could play the game again
yeah, we
and
had
have all the
someone.
updates
You
properly.
remember? You remember Oscar? He used to play it when it first came out. He was playing it. He was pretty good at it.
I don't recognize that name. I just don't put I can't put a face to it.
Bloody. He used to go by Bloody. We played a couple games with him. We played a good amount with him. Not a lot.
I think he yelled it out. I don't think I was there for that.
Yeah, so he played with us, and he was on mobile, and I think this is when mobile was barely coming out.
Mhm.
Um, and then obviously he switched over to console after the whole Apple thing. Um, but I mean, yeah, at least they got something figured out. I mean, this gonna, I guess, expand the game. I don't think it's gonna expand it by much. It's just gonna bring a lot more people to play it. Maybe make more people buy iPhones. I think maybe Apple, but maybe I don't think. I don't know. But it's a pretty big deal. Knowing that the game, because what happened that led to this, and now they're coming back. So Fortnite, they're on a roll, dude. I'm gonna just say it like that. I give them all respect. They're going out there. They're spending the money they've been spending, and then they're making back whatever they spent. I think, and obviously the Disney deal, Disney paid them to, right? Wasn't it that?
Yeah, Disney
Or
injected $2 billion
yeah,
into Fortnite.
yeah. So they were looking to make more money. They just went out to get more to build their game. And yeah, it's insane to think Fortnite has evolved from the where it was to where it is now. Two different games. It feels like I'm on Hulu when I'm on Fortnite. So scrolling through everything. So
Oh yeah.
Yep.
that's cool though. I mean, I respect them. I mean, I guess they want to improve what they have now and get better at everything. And I guess in the marketing standpoint, obviously they're gonna make money from the Lego when they release the Lego collabs. I'm pretty sure they will. If they don't, then they're missing out on a lot of money.
Mhm.
And I already know someone who's gonna buy a lot. Shout out to the former Frijoleros. He said he'll buy all of them when they start releasing Lego.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. If to get back on topic, it was a really big deal when they went away. So it's a pretty shocking thing to see it coming back. But it's good though. Um, Happy, I guess, for you iPhone users or whatever you want to call yourselves or gamers. Well, it is what it is. The new age of console gamers are not console phone mobile gamers are coming back
Mhm. Yeah,
with iPads.
it's most certainly interesting, and we'll have to wait to see later first, just mid this year, to see what happens with their next big press update. Then later this year with the FPS and what ends up cascading with all the additional games and whenever the new engine update comes up. But Fortnite is here to stay, as we've said time and time and time again, for the long run. We'll be in our 40s, 50s. They'll still be here. There'll still be something new. They're a long-standing game.
You remember that one time we thought Fortnite was dead or like it was dying?
It was.
And then they resurged and they brought themselves back to life. Now there's no way for them to kill themselves now. There's no way.
I believe I know why that was. Fortnite started to die when Apex came out. Then Apex dropped the ball on a few things. Now Apex is trying to pick themselves back up with certain things that are happening. Especially recently with Destroyer 2009 hacking the whole LGS scrims. Well, actually, the whole tournament, actually. It was the finals. And I was like, okay, that's something.
No,
and it's like, for me, Apex is my favorite game. So I was like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, you could say they took the opportunity that Apex lost, and then they just built off with the little bit of space they had, they took it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
With the door that was left open that much, they took it, and obviously we know what's wrong with Apex. The whole community is pissed off right now. This just proves that their anti-cheat is worse than COD's, and COD's is terrible.
The thing is, it wasn't fully an anti-cheat thing. We still don't know exactly. From what I know of that is Pirate Software, who's a very, very skilled person in that industry. We'll talk with Imperial Hal and Jim Burton and stuff, and figured out a lot of stuff that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the developers themselves, like he was saying, they can't really do much until Destroyer either makes a mistake somewhere or they can replicate exactly what he did. And right now, they don't. I don't know if they can. Destroyer says they can. We don't know.
So
that's the main thing with that.
What you're telling me is that this could happen again for the Apex event if they don't figure out soon.
Destroyer is right now the only one that can do it that we know of. So far, I don't think he plans to do it again. The reason he has a weird moral compass. He chose to do this because he hopes to fix hopes the developers to fix the exploits he showed, but he's not telling any of them how they did it till they fix it. Is it possible he'll do it again? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, the way Destroyer has been hacking the game has not been detrimental to the game. Like, we used to go to Hal and them and just spawn a bunch of bots in the map on them and stuff like that. And maybe sometimes go around just aimbot everybody, but he would do that in ranked. He wouldn't go around just like DDoS and people doing stuff like that. But the thing is with him is he's the one hacker that Apex can't ban.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're trying to figure out why that is the case. And probably sort of whatever exploit he found that might end up doing that for them. Okay. But other than that, Apex itself has really brought themselves back. This was their most recent updates they did, changing a lot of like just mechanics in the game and interface in the game. It makes it a lot more fun.
Mm.
I mean, I guess you could say that he's trying to make their game better by him proving like, hey, I can do this with ease. Y'all gotta do something about it, and I know y'all can do something about it because if I could do it, y'all definitely should be able to do it.
So that's exactly what he's thinking. But the thing is his moral compass is wrong. He's like, yeah, you're hacking the game. There's nothing good about that.
Yeah.
Regardless of what your intentions are, to you it may seem good because you're not doing something extremely intrusive or just very bad practice. The problem with that is now you might have inspired other hackers to be like, okay, how did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
So they might figure out how to replicate it exactly how you did it or find another avenue through it and do even worse things. Yeah. We had a hacker worse than Destroyer for a while. And how ended up getting him banned. Mm-hmm. I was thinking it was like 3 years ago at this point. Because he used to go on just terrorizing everybody in the ranked lobbies. Mm-hmm. And just destroy the whole game for no reason.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, we'll wait and see. You would assume that a team that is supposed to be well experienced with, I would assume hundreds of staff, is able to figure this out at some point, and I assume they will. Just time will tell.
Well, that's the other thing. They did recently lay off a bunch of people.
That too, yeah. A lot of companies did lay off a bunch of members, so resources are spread thin. But again, it's one of those things that we just have to wait and see. And since it only happened about a week ago, so we do truly just have to wait and see. But it's funny that you did mention this because this is a topic I completely forgot to add to the script. But it's League of Legends, we talked about it, I think the past month. The LCK, which is League's Korean league, was facing DDoS attacks from an unknown attacker. And the Korean League was able to stop it by now having a true LAN for League. but League of Legends players in Korea are still getting DDoSed, and their most decorated team, T1, has now suspended all streamers from streaming for the foreseeable future because they've been continually being DDoSed during their streams, especially Faker. Every time he would go live, about half an hour to an hour in, he'd be DDoSed in his games. No matter what he was playing, when he was playing, always DDoSed. So we're seeing these type of events not happen just in Apex or League, but it's plaguing the whole gaming community. We've seen it in Halo, we've seen it in COD. Like, it's something that's always going to happen with online games.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, probably Sean knows. Do you remember of a hacker group called Anonymous or Lizard Squad?
Anonymous, yes.
You never heard about Lizard Squad?
No.
The ones that were gonna shut down COD, think like completely one day, like shut down all the servers for good.
I
It was
think
like
I heard about that
way back
happening,
then.
but I don't recall what group did that.
So,
But I'm not sure I was playing COD heavily back then.
so yeah, there was a I think it was Lizard Squad. There was a squad, but they were a bunch of hackers that would hack COD, and I guess they did it for the fun of it.
I'm not gonna lie, I
Obviously,
honestly believe COD has the worst hackers.
yeah, they're worse there, but at least we're not as bad as Apex right now.
I would say Apex hackers are more tame than COD.
Yeah, but y'all can't get rid of the hacker.
It's
The hacker
one that they
is
can't get
literally-
rid of.
Yeah, which is terrible. It's only one person you gotta worry about.
But the
He's
thing is,
toying with
he's
them.
not doing things like just to ruin the game. He's doing it in hopes that they'll fix whatever and get him to get it to stop. Whether or not, let's say, his moral compass is off. He feels it's right, even though it is wrong to do so.
Yeah.
But you have to force it somehow. That's why when Jen Burton got hacked during the stream, he quit the game. That allowed them to keep playing that match through, and his teammates played as a duo. When Hal got hacked, Hal chose to keep playing.
Yeah.
Because he knew that if he quit, his team would have to play as a duo. And for one, if he kept playing, they have to end the match and do something about it. Whether or not, so if he just quit, they'll get a sub in, and the tournament will keep going as it is, and he'll just be out of it entirely. And the problem with it is,
go ahead.
So the problem with that is also it's how they want to keep the integrity of the competitiveness. Because everybody was mad at Hal for doing it. But you have to understand is like his idea is okay, if I do this, one, that can put us in a bad position to lose this, for one, because now we're getting a sub. And I don't even know who TSM has as their sub other than Raven. And that's their coach. So to try to do that and take away one of the greatest IGLs in Apex history from his team, just over something like that, he's like, no, we're going to force their hand. It's kind of the same thing Destroyer did by doing that.
I guess it's interesting because when you see similar events happen in other esports, there tends to also be a set of like codes. Like when it happens in League, like we've been watching with the LCK, the moment it happens, the match is paused. It's delayed unless they can find a fix. For Battle Royale games, I haven't seen a similar type of feature per se. Either the series
they can
gets
pause
canceled,
it and they can end the game.
but they don't have a feature where they can like rewind a few moments, put everybody back where they were like a minute or two beforehand before anything started happening. No, okay.
No, they don't.
Okay.
The only other thing they can do, which I think they might have done now, they can use the ALGS client, and nobody has access to that except for the pros and those developers.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they still have it. Nobody, I don't think anybody is. They might use it. I know they've been screaming lately. I don't know when they're planning to rerun this finals again. I have to look and see when that's going to happen. Hopefully they get something figured out. Because Hal even switched to a whole new PC. Now, the developers actually did very well with him. He switched over to a whole new PC. They gave him another account with enough legend tokens to buy all the legends back, and gave him his exact rank and RP back in ranked on that new account.
Okay.
But he's able to play with that now.
There are features for them to be able to roll back some things or just be able to give the exact same stats to newer accounts by people who were wronged during certain events. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, and it was also proven that the hacks were not installed on either Jim Burton's or Hal's computers by pirate software.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that's the thing. So it was something just purely in the game that happened with that.
Mm. I mean,
Because
though, like you
the
said,
text box that popped up for Jim Burton was purely that, just an image.
Yep.
It was a real cheap text box, but it was just a PNG image that Destroyer popped up there.
Mm.
It wasn't something that he had installed on his computer.
No, yeah, definitely. So we have to see how Apex moves forward. Like you said, we don't know the exact date yet for when they plan to reschedule this final, but we'll wait and see if they're running on, like you said, the server that is accessible only to pros. But
Yeah.
to move on to our next topic, we have a Halo Network update that fixed 2-year-long issues and returns the drop weapon meta. If you guys remember playing Halo Infinite when it first debuted, there were very persistent network issues that were slowly getting patched year over year. But they were still.
You'll have to refresh my memory.
You would be in a game. You would like Angel. You had this situation so many times. Go ahead, take the floor. This is all you.
So you want to give details?
Yeah, go
before
for it.
I go. No, give details and I'll.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
Halo had many network issues where ping would skyrocket high despite being unstable connection. Sometimes you would not be able to find servers despite your region being fully populated. When in game, you would randomly lag spike for no reason. You would get consistently shot behind walls for no reason when server ping was steady. You would teleport. You would get blank melees. Your weapons would just have blank shots half the times. And like I said, they were fixing this year over year.
Okay.
And finally, last Tuesday, the patch completely fixed the issue. You can have 400 ping. You still will not be shot behind a wall. You still will not lag. You will still look the same to everybody on your screen. And the game is what I would say is finally perfect. But go ahead.
I hate this game with a passion. You don't understand. This game has a vendetta against it, right? So at first, I thought the reason why all that stuff was happening is because I was on an old Xbox, original Xbox One. And then I upgraded to, once I got my PC, I started playing Halo. The issues never changed. The game had a thing against me. Got shot through walls, got blanked. I've gotten a freak ton of blank melees. Do you want to talk about the one time when the sticky was on the ground and it magnetized to me?
I have the clip of that. That's amazing.
Literally magnetized, dude. I've been crashing out of the game a lot
Lately, yeah.
recently. A bunch of not DDoSing, desync. Sorry, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Falling through the map. Parts of the map not loading in. Ping going from 30 to 400. Let's see. Invisible blanks. I mean, no bullet reg. The bullets don't exist. They go through people.
It was either the bullets don't exist or your gun would just jam. You straight up could not decide pulling the trigger anytime.
It is so interesting because since I departed my ways with y'all, I actually played Halo Infinite a few times after that. I have never run into any of these issues. My game has always run perfectly fine. So it's interesting to hear about these random issues I've never known anything about.
Dude,
it's weird because it clearly affected half of the community and the other half never saw it. Angel would be tormented, I would be clean. Then I would be tormented and he would be clean. And it was just really
no, don't say that.
To be fair,
the only thing you ever got was the gun jam.
I got the gun jam, and I got the time when that map didn't load in at all. But for the most part, I've been good. Angel, on the other hand,
absolute hell. I've experienced every bug in the game.
No, yeah.
And dude, I'm telling you, nothing, dude. I knew the day Halo did not like me is when a sticky grenade, was 2 feet away from me on the ground.
Yep.
I literally, it magnetized onto me. Dude, I hate the game so much, and I don't think they're gonna be fixed. It's not gonna be fixed. I promise you 100%.
Okay, since I can't tell, my servers are still great.
Saying that for the last 2 years that the game is fixed. They're fixing the game, dude. We don't have a dedicated Atlanta server. We talked about this, and it's supposed to come out until next year. If the game is still alive.
Well, I mean, you have to play the game first. Because like I said, for me, issues have been very minimal on my end. Once you get in like a good 10 games. And if things are consistent across all 10 of them, I'd say reasonably it's fixed. I've heard very little complaints from most people. The most complaints I've heard are from people from since the update have been people on the OG Xbox One, where now the OG console is now really struggling to support the game with all the new features and new content updates. But besides that, PC players and current Xbox Gen players have been saying good things about this update. So there's that. The other update was that the drop weapon meta was back. This was here during the very first months of Halo Infinite.
I hated that because I
I
hated
know what
that.
that is.
Let me explain real quick. So when Halo Infinite first came out for the first 6 months, instead of reloading your gun after you shoot like you empty a clip, it was faster to just drop your gun so you'd switch to your other gun instantly. There would be like no time delay at all. So it ended up getting patched after 6 months into the game because it obviously in the competitive scene that is broken. But with this recent patch, as we always talk about, when Halo Infinite adds one good update, 2 things get broken. We already know one of those things is broken, and then the drop meta patch got unrolled somehow, which is not intentional. And 343 apparently is going to fix it. Whatever the second broken thing is yet, we haven't discovered just yet, so maybe they've balanced out their curse this year. But
So you know, sees as a ghost flying through the map.
yeah, there's that.
You remember the thing with the repulsor where it took you 20 feet in the air?
Yeah, their repulsor was really OP at one point. Now you got to get real up close for it to do anything.
No, I'm talking about like if you hit it at like straight down
and jump, you would like fly.
You would
sky
fly
high.
20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
You can't do that now, but oh, dude.
Play
I
Halo again.
hate the game. I hate the game. I hate the game.
I love Halo.
It just hasn't been
You
done.
two know me. I love Halo. It's my main game.
Oh,
I
know.
think it is great right now. You two should give it a chance again. They've added 6 new game modes, 40 new maps all across the board. It is like found its stride finally. This year should
Crazy,
be
I'm
peak
still a
Halo.
better sniper than you, though.
In this game, I don't know about that actually.
We've had this battle in this game.
It's been 2 years. Things have changed.
It's been a while. I snipe in every game I play, so we can do this. I'm the gaming sniper. That's what I do, man. So
Angel can tell you about my development in Halo. Halo 5, trash sniper. I cannot do that. This game, I can actually snipe, you know? So
I think we put that to the test, and I still destroyed you, bro.
well, if you want to give it a go again, I'm all open. But
well, one of these days, yeah, definitely. I haven't played the game forever. I'll still destroy you. Watch it.
Okay. But yeah, Halo, big up this year. We'll see what future, I guess since they're not doing seasons anymore, what future content updates have to have, but they've been on a good roll this year.
But the game is still trash. I don't care. Why am I paying almost 50 Halo credits for a helmet? You know how much that's worth in the item? That's like what was it, $10?
It was expensive.
Or how much is the credit?
It's it's $10 for 1,000. So I mean, it balances out, but like I know
$5 for a helmet.
Yeah, helmets are kind of pricey.
Bro, why are they selling knee pads in the store?
Customization in the game has always been interesting. I don't know.
This is why you buy the battle pass, because you get everything. You know.
That's why the only game that I ever bought things from, and I was Advanced Warfare. The supply drop was the game-changing thing, and you could have gotten everything. You could have gotten cosmetics, stuff like that.
So I did the same thing with Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4 did too. Apex does it too.
Yep.
Everybody wants.
I have a lot of stuff for Apex, bro.
Everybody wants the triple reds.
Hey, Halo fans, I know we complained about Halo 5, like with the rec pack system, but at least with that,
at least bring that shit back.
You didn't have to pay for Rex. I didn't pay for Rex ever.
The worst luck with Rex. I know you remember that. I had the worst luck with that.
I know you had the worst luck with Rex, but since you still could 100% the game without paying at all for customization.
Bro, wait, let me tell you. I never used them, and I had about 2,000 of them, and I told Mark, yo, what are these rec packs for? Oh, you can get items. He's like, how many you got? A couple hundred, right? And you're like, nah, about 2,000. So you should open them. But that's why I bumped up from my level. You know how fast I caught up to you in the Halo 5 rank?
Yeah, because you opened all the Rex and you got all the double XP tokens. It's like, there we go.
Bro, I was a level 68 when he was at 120, and I caught up to them, and I'm only like, what, 15?
You're 15 behind since the XP bar gets larger as you go up, but you caught up pretty
Halo
high.
5 was a miserable time for me. I know you remember that when you competed in that, bro. That game used to piss me off so much.
You hated Halo. Angel was like, with Halo. I
Halo
always loved
5
Halo.
just pissed me.
Bro,
I love
think
Halo
about
4.
it. We
Halo
won a
5 just
damn.
pissed me off so much on how it was played. And
But
when we
Sean,
competed against certain teams, bro, I just couldn't take it, bro.
no,
It
but
was so
you
annoying.
have look, but you have a win against a pro team instead of Mokhtar's actual team. We have a pickup team. We were literally a pickup team because we picked you up, and the other guy hated you. He hated me, and he only liked Mokhtar. We won a series, and then we got dropped. He went to go pick up a roster, and they didn't even win a series. They didn't even stick together. So you have more
So I
street cred than the other two people.
I remember once I got put in the sub for actual team too one time, and that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, that did,
Everybody was like, "What the hell happened?
I
What's
forgot
going
that
on
did
here?"
happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Mokhtar, can you talk about me getting benched?
We both have our war scars from a few years ago. We're just gonna leave that in the past. This is 2024. But
Which didn't we
Sean,
face reciprocity and
we
got destroyed?
we played.
no, we
Yeah,
won.
no, we reciprocity. We lost straight up.
No, we played
I'll
someone
say
before
I
that,
think
right?
that's the game where I got so pissed I hopped off the game after
No,
the series.
you left after we played Team Elevate. We took one map from them and that was it. Everything else, we were turning to dust.
No, we got slammed.
But we took Oddball
Respectfully.
from them and we crushed them in Oddball. Which
We were
was
the best
awesome.
we were the best oddball team in that tournament, and we only had played 2 series.
That was funny.
Oh,
How
we were the only team that practiced oddball. Out of all the pro teams, we were the only one that practiced oddball.
we were the best team in that tournament in oddball, and we still were. We had ended up as the best oddball team in that tournament. Only played 2 series.
It was such an interesting time, bro.
Hey, it's a good experience, good memories, some bad memories, but mostly good memories. We
Mostly.
met some. I mean, depends. Like Angel and I, from that event, we met some amazing Halo people who now literally work for the Halo Championship Series. So like the connections, I guess, through some of the pro scenes were pretty good. Some of the tournament games themselves, obviously, were pretty soul crushing. But
Sean hated everybody we played with. He didn't like him. He didn't like them. I mean, it worked out in the end.
no, yeah, definitely. But
I don't know. I just had a problem with meeting new people at that point in time. I still kind of
No.
much better with
You didn't have a problem with it. You just had a problem with people critiquing you. It's because he critiqued everything, even in the middle of the game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, bro, give him call outs. Don't critique his game right now. Call out.
You want to know what's so funny about that?
Mhm.
Is if you play Apex with me and say something happens in the game, I take Apex very seriously. So if anything bad happens in the game, I'll be fine in the middle of the game, for the most part, depending on what you do. After the game, I'll call out every single thing you did wrong and everything we need to do better next time.
Well, yeah, that's what I would expect a good teammate to do.
duos.
That's what I expect.
Exactly. It's
I mean,
after the game.
Yeah, which I don't want you to check me in the middle of the game, like God damn it, I'm not doing the right play. Like he knows I'm not doing the right play. If he says it after, like, yo, bro, like if you don't do this, bro, you're like messing up the flow. You're ruining like our rotation, our timings. If you tell me that after, I'm like, okay, I got you. I won't do that. But if you're telling me that in the middle of the game,
streams, bro.
I'm not trying to tweak.
Mhm.
That's the one thing I told Mokhtar. Like when we play Halo, like after the game, we should like critique like what happened, like
Yep,
or
that's
something
what I
like.
play. And we do that, so it works.
Yeah,
out
the
just
reason I
fine.
did that because I was looking. I'm actually still probably going to do it. Is eventually get a team together and try to join Apex competitively.
Mhm.
Because it's not a high requirement. You just have to be silver 4 or higher to get into a competitive. Let's just wait for this season to end and hopefully be able to play starting next season. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how that goes. I have to switch over to PC.
Hopefully you don't get hacked on. For you. Hopefully you don't get hacked on.
I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, he should be fine. But to continue on to our next topic, I'm sure you all are familiar with Tyler One, famous League of Legends player, famous personality on Twitch and YouTube. He has dedicated the past 8 months to playing solely chess, and he is now part of the top 1% of the online chess world. He has grinded through levels that nobody thought was possible in an 8-month period. What do you guys think about the tournament events from Tyler One being this very like loud, boisterous personality, being a very, very serious chess player?
To be honest, I I only know Tyler One just based off of memes from him. I actually don't know much about it.
Mm.
Seeing that, hearing that someone does know about it is very interesting because I love chess.
Mm.
Chess is one of my main things I love to play. So I don't think I don't think it's too drastic to say somebody could be able to do that if you put in the time and patience to wanting to do it. And the thing with him is, yeah, you may be this loud mouth screaming all the time. That never said anything about how intelligent this man is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest thing most people would not expect from him. You don't show how intelligent you are all the time. You just have this personality.
Mm.
So to show that other side, I think is a really good thing for him.
No, I just find it interesting because if Tyler One for the past decade has been known for one game only, which is League of Legends, which is, you could call it virtual chess. It is a game that takes all critical thinking. One mistake will completely mess up everything. So, like, he clearly has the ability.
The strategy.
He has a strategy. He's a grandmaster in League. He's one of the top players in North America. Like, he clearly has the intelligence and skills to compete in games that require a lot of critical thinking and forethought and planning. It's just curious because, like I said, this has been his main thing only for the past decade. And to have
streaming?
No, he only streams chess now. He rarely streams League now. He still plays it, but like chess has become his mainstay, which is why like I just find it interesting that his mainstay game that defined who he was as a content creator is now not his mainstay game, and now he's a chess player, and now he can compete with chess pros in an international basis. So,
I mean, this just proves that you don't have to just be good at one thing that you practice a lot. I mean, you don't know what else you could be good at. You could be good at anything unless you try it. I guess I would assume he probably played chess before. I don't think this just randomly just came to him. He probably played chess back in the day. But obviously, like you said, League. I mean, every game has the word strategy. Um, so I mean, I guess he wanted to challenge himself, or he just picked it up, or I guess if he played it before, he probably had a passion for it back then, and went away, became a streamer, and probably gave it up and did that. But it just proves that you can be better at other things that you're not mainly focused on. If you don't, unless you not, don't, unless you're willing to try something new and not know if you're good at it, you'll never know. Or
yeah, I can agree with that. For me, I can say I'm actually living proof of that. In most games I play, I mainly play Apex now, but I can still hop on Fortnite and do just as well as I would in Apex. I can hop on Call of Duty and still like pub stomp the whole lobby, and I don't play the game at all really. Just for me, I noticed that my aspect is just in gaming in general. I can play a lot of different kinds of games. I can hop on fighting games I haven't played in forever and still compete with some of the people on there. So I think people just don't expect somebody to be so well versed in so many different things nowadays. But don't look into themselves and say, hey, I might be able to do all this different stuff. Most people don't know about me. FPS were not my main game. My main game was fighting games. I stopped playing those to play FPS. That's when I started playing Call of Duty and stuff. So when I met y'all, I was playing FPS. And I think you and I mocked our play Killer Instinct at one point
did,
too.
Yeah.
And you kind of learned that is exactly my fieldhouse is really fighting games and a lot of stuff like that. So
no, certainly, and also like I think Angel and I talked about a few weeks ago Call of Duty legend Crimsix, who went on from playing solely COD FPS to going to virtual racing to now transitioning to real life racing, and won 2 tournaments in his like first debut run. It's like you have these very transferable skills that you can learn from various games that can transfer from games to games or from games to reality. So people do tend to underestimate, especially like if gaming is your lifestyle, I guess, underestimate you as like this is all you can do. No, gaming takes a lot of focus, both visually and both mentally, which is why we even have a whole sport about it. It is it's a learnable skill.
I can attest to that because most things people don't know about me. Because I've been a classically trained musician for over a decade now. I'm also a music producer as well. So there's multiple things that I'm able to do outside of just gaming as well that most people wouldn't even think to know of. But most people say, oh, you just play games. That might be all you do. And just look at me. Like, no, he might not play instruments. I play 4 different instruments. So it's like so many different things people are able to do as well.
No, most certainly. But yeah, Tyler One, we'll see his journey for chess. We'll see if he actually ends up deciding to run for any of these actual professional chess competitions. But on to our last esports gaming topic, we have the CDL Miami Major, hosted by the Miami Heretics, which just ended about an hour and a half ago. For those who are listening, we're recording on March 24th, 2024. The finals was Atlanta FaZe versus Optic Gaming. Optic fans are in shambles right now because they got stomped by FaZe twice today, both in the winners finals and in the grand finals. I don't know what's wrong with Optic. They hurt me. I only support Optic because EG's not in COD anymore. Angel, as we both know, is the resident Optic fan. I don't know if you watch COD much anymore. I'm not sure which team you support, or if
I've
you were
never
ever
been into CDL like that.
never CDL.
I will
Okay.
see I will see like different random highlights of it, but it's never been something I personally would take a stake in.
Okay. But from our resident Optic fan, what are the emotions? What are the feels? What did Optic do wrong? You said they were supposed. I talked to you this morning. You said Optic should win. The only team that can beat them is FaZe if Optic plays like trash. What happened? Because I really want to know.
Bro, you don't understand the pain I'm in right now. Bro, I literally watched them make mistakes in every game mode. Look, every game mode against FaZe. That literally costed them the match were close, all of them. They were close. Obviously, they 4-1 them, right? But they were all close. Simple mistakes. Obviously, FaZe turned up when they needed to. Obviously, that's what it takes, right? You got to turn up at the right moment to win, right?
Mhm.
So, FaZe, they played great COD at the end of the day. Optic made a lot of mistakes. They scammed a bunch of times. But they look good until they play FaZe, and I guess FaZe had Optic's number. They've been watching, I guess, their VODs and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. So a little upset. Watched all of it. Took me a second to even hop onto the podcast. I was about to cancel it. But yeah, it was theirs to lose, and obviously they lost it. And yeah, I'm going through hell. So
It is funny that we're rooting for Optic when the team called Atlanta FaZe won, considering that we're all located in the state of Georgia, but we're not rooting for the team from our home state. But
last time I checked, Optic, you actually get to meet the players and get to know what type of people they are. FaZe, I don't know anything about those characters or those people. Optic, they do what they do best. Is that they show the audience who that person is as a person.
Mhm.
That's what they do
Interesting
best.
from the
They've always done.
outside looking in. Just seeing over the years the whole Optic versus FaZe dynamic,
Mhm.
just in everything. Like back on YouTube, back in the trick shotting days, it'll be okay. There's a FaZe montage. There's an Optic montage. And you have, it's always going with these two orbs going back and forth. It's even to this day now. Like how y'all saying, it's Optic versus FaZe. It's the biggest thing ever. For like the past decade, it's been the biggest thing.
No, yeah,
And it's crazy to see these are two
Halo.
powerhouses in all of it.
no, yeah, in
Halo,
FPS esports, Optic FaZe, that's it. You see him in COD, you see him in Halo, you see him in Counter Strike, you see him in Rainbow Six. Sometimes you see it. One of them was in League. Sometimes they dip into Apex. They're everywhere.
Rainbow Six is a sore topic, man. Rainbow Six is a very sore topic. I stopped watching that G2. I stopped watching that the G2 dropped their whole team, bro. What you mean? Pengu retired. I'm like, what the?
that boy JC, that dude's carrying the RC.
I saw that recently. I actually I haven't looked into anything about it. I just saw his name popping up. I see him on TikTok and stuff like that, but I haven't actually looked into him.
Because of him, R6 is still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're moving away from the main topic of the CDL, but
Yeah.
Rainbow Six is still popular because of him, because of his personality, and he's not just like anyone else. He's actually really good at the game.
Mhm.
He's pretty good for a console player.
That's the thing. He's an Xbox player too. That's the fun.
Yeah, he's an Xbox player. He slams people. I think he's like the highest rank you could be, and for a console player, and he can compete with these PC players. Like he could beat them. I think he played against like a pro in R6, and I think it went really. I think he only lost by a round, but it was. His game knowledge, his game sense I mean, you've seen the videos, like, he's throwing the C4 without it, just because of how the guy held the C4. He knew he was, think about it. He didn't even throw it yet. He just knew he was about to chuck it because he literally just pulled it out. So his game sense is like on a whole nother level. I mean, he has his headphones cranked because he could hear people from up, top, below. He could literally tell you what grenade he's gonna throw at you.
I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna
it's
lie. I think if I kept playing Rambo the way I did before, I probably could be up there to compete with him too.
I mean, that dude's insane. If you go watch his stuff, he's insane.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about it more in depth later for Rainbow Six. How it had a rise, a fall, another big resurgence during our high school years, and then a massive drop off, and it's in that lull again. We'll see if Rainbow Six will be able to regain. I'm not sure about it this time, but games make some spectacular comebacks sometimes.
Wait, are they making a new one? Are they making an R6 2 or whatever it's supposed to be
I
called?
doubt it. It would be where the main game still gets enough support to stay alive. Like how
have
like
like
how it
another
happened the first
Operation Health.
No, yeah,
almost.
exactly. Because that's what brought it back the first time, essentially. Rainbow Six came and had like a very mild reception, dropped off, had a few big updates that shot it back up, was able to develop its content creator and esports scene, then kind of let all that kind of lull after COVID, and here we are with it back in its depths again. We'll see, like I said, if it's able to come back. R6 has been trying to do collabs. They had a Halo one recently where they have like Halo skins in game.
You have Master Chief as Sledge.
I forgot about that. I didn't remember
Sledge is
that.
Master Chief. It's hilarious.
Oh my! It don't matter. Fortnite did it first. I was just joking. What was it? There's the thing I was gonna say. Damn, it just went over my head. It's gone. I don't think I'm getting the thought back.
You can bring back if you remember, but we're gonna transition
Oh.
out of the. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I got it. I mean, we never. I don't think we ever talked about it ever since the game released. Remember Payday 3? Remember how we talked about the release and we never talked about it ever then?
I forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie to
you. Can we talk about what went wrong with the game? I know we haven't. There's no like. It's like irrelevant. But do y'all know? I mean, y'all know what Payday is, right? Obviously, this game was anticipated.
It's actually a game I've never played. I actually have Payday 3 installed. I was supposed to play it with my brother and a friend of ours for a stream. We never did.
Oh no!
All right. Well, I played it because it was free. So Payday, it had its issue with the game at the start. The servers wouldn't load, no one could play. That went on for 2 days. But the game didn't have the same, I guess, aura than it did than Payday 2. Maybe because it was two different developers that made the game. The game was stupid buggy. It's still buggy to this day. Nothing really much changed. I think it actually even downgraded from what the originals were. I only brought it up because I looked at it like something, a video on it like earlier before I got on. I was like, dang, no one's really talking about this game. I don't remember even I talked about this game when it released. I haven't talked about the game since it dropped. And I just want to. I mean, obviously, y'all probably don't really know much about it because the game is pretty much irrelevant. But I remember we talked about it, and I told you about the game and what it was and what it was like, and how it took such a long time for it to be, I guess, release a new one. People waited and disappointed, and people are now pissed. And now Payday 3 is like a flop because a different developer decided to make the game, and it didn't deliver to what it was. So,
I mean,
y'all?
The gaming community has had a bunch of hits and misses lately, especially for big AAA titles. And Payday, like you said, really did. It came and then that was it. Day 1, day 2, no word after that.
No. Say Power was another one. I think it lasted maybe a month?
Yeah, it was about like a month of like big success and then nothing happened.
It just went
Halo 2. Halo Infinite was one of them too at one point.
Halo was, and then Halo was able, like R6, to make a resurgence. It's not top 10 games, maybe like top 20 still talked about games. But
I don't know. Yeah, Payday 3 flopped. I just randomly thought about it because I just saw the videos of it. I think it was like why Payday 3 didn't succeed or something. I don't remember. I had to look at that.
I just thought of another game that flopped as well. Do y'all know about the Jujutsu Kaisen fighting game that came out?
No. No. Is that bad?
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh,
It's
it's
really
so
bad. It's
bad.
really bad.
Like the only way to have fun with it is if you have just all your friends playing it. You can like playing it online. There's no point.
No, it's kind of sad considering it's a fighting game based off of one of the biggest anime franchises, and the game is absolutely horrendous.
You want to know two other games that did that? The
Mhm.
recent Naruto Storm game that came out and Demon Slayer.
I heard about that. I was like, damn, everyone playing it and making these videos about it. Bro, I ain't even seen one video about it in a long ass time. What?
I still don't think on Xbox on Naruto and Storm. My brother and I both have the game. I still don't think you can invite your friends to play a private match with you.
No, those
And that's
games
something
are.
he and I were trying to do on stream for a while because he and I, you remember, I used to make videos like he and I play Naruto games together, and I'll make videos of it on YouTube. Still have on my channel to this day. Those would be some of my favorite things to do, and we could not even do that.
The
We
thing
couldn't
with
even
a
get
lot
to a
of like
match.
recent anime fighting games is that they're rushed up really quickly and they're made just because they're attached to the IP. So these games don't have the period where they get to be tested and like ensure that they work correctly for different platforms. They are just pushed out to be a cash grab, unfortunately. And it's been
Yeah,
a constant trend the past year.
I'll say, speaking of anime fighting games, what are your thoughts on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero?
Man, I just want to go back to the days when Dragon Ball Fighters itself was the main fighting game for Dragon Ball. That was a perfect game, and it's not that popular anymore.
Dragon Ball Fighters was not a perfect game.
Uh,
I don't know where you
I
got
mean,
that from.
not necessarily perfect, but it's like
It's better
one
than
of the
what
most
there is now.
It got
influential
much better
Dragon
now,
Ball.
but I think having Dragon Ball Sparking Zero back again because it's a Budokai Tenkaichi game.
Mm.
Those were the staple of Dragon Ball fighting games back on PlayStation 2.
Mm.
Back when playing Budokai Tenkaichi 3, all that stuff. So those are some of my favorite games to play. Seeing that they have this series back again, and they recently did a whole gameplay trailer, it looks insane. And it might actually be the one anime game that comes out hopefully soon that will actually stand out much better than all the rest right now.
I would hope so, yeah. They have a good developer behind them, so we will see. We will see. But I think, yeah, that wraps it up for the gaming esports side. We transition on to the general news side. We have one quick topic, then one topic that might be a bit lengthy. We'll start off with a quick one. We have, we talked about it just last week, Catherine, Princess of Wales. Many of you know her as the wife to Prince William, who is the son of the current King of the United Kingdom, King Charles III. Last week, there was a controversy on the BBC and many other news channels that, if you remember, there was photoshopped images of her face, and now we know why. It's for an unfortunate reason. It's because she has been diagnosed with cancer. I believe she's in her mid-30s or 40s, so she is quite young for a cancer individual. And we do wish her the best. She has been going under chemotherapy treatment, and she did release about, I think, an 8-minute long video if you wish to watch and see how she explains it. But now lots of news media are rolling back their critiques of her because a lot of them last week were like, why would she Photoshop her face? What is she trying to hide? Did she get plastic surgery or whatever? And then in the video you can see that she's clearly been like, you can see the toll that her unfortunate disease has caused to her body. So be careful of what you say about people in certain situations. You cannot assume, especially with celebrities, because lots of them do try to keep their lives private, you know. There was a time where Jamie Foxx was going through his treatment and people were saying all sorts of wild controversial things about him when he was just trying to get better, you know. So you got to be careful what you say. But
remember, there's another one. Remember Chadwick Boseman? Remember when people remember they were like, dang, he's really skinny. What's wrong with him? And he later died
of a disease. Yeah. Do we know what type of cancer this person has? By the way, last time
she has not revealed just yet. So she said that she'd rather keep her situation private, and we just have to respect her choices. But
I'll say this: I actually don't know this person or anything about them. That's my world knowledge is not as great, and that's part of the one I don't look into. So that would be mostly on y'all to kind of give your thoughts into it.
I mean, it's not like everyone will know. Like if you don't really like want to keep up with that type of news, it's not really like something to keep up with. But we brought it up because we brought it up last week, and it was like a big deal. And obviously I looked into it. Obviously the scripts are written beforehand unless stuff happened. So we obviously do a little bit of research before we like go into it and talk about it.
Yeah.
But if you're not like, if you really don't care about what's happening on the other side, it doesn't really matter to you. But like obviously, like you said, it's the wife and this and that. Obviously revealed She has cancer. It's not gonna affect anyone on this side of the world, the NA or the Americans.
So
But
it's just in a personal thing. I say, as someone whose family member has survived cancer, I can understand the scare and the need to kind of keep it hidden in that way,
Mhm.
and just so nobody else really try to say anything about it, say anything negative against it, because just dealing with that in my own life in the past was something interesting that most people don't even know about me, really.
Mhm. No, most certainly. And I would hope most reasonable people would understand why she'd want to keep it private, despite being like she's the princess of the United Kingdom. But even there are still certain things as human beings you want to keep close to yourselves. We're all people in the
Yep.
end, so we do wish her the best and hope that her chemotherapy is able to help her battle and win against this cancer. But on to our last topic, which is the Dan Snyder allegations. I'll give some quick backstory before we go into it. For many
all right,
people
wait,
of
wait,
our
wait,
generation,
wait,
yeah, go ahead first.
wait. Before, if you're someone who don't want to listen to this part,
Yep.
then go ahead. Obviously, we've decided to keep away from controversial stuff. This is a little bit controversial, I guess you could call it. Obviously for the recent podcasts, we've moved away from talking about it just to avoid conflict with people. But if you don't want to hear it, you could just click away. Um, but obviously, this is a big deal, especially during, I guess, our time, because we were watching these shows. Um, Obviously, it was, I guess, a part of us, and it's crazy to know what we didn't know. Now that we have the right information, it's a little. So,
Yep.
like I said, if
Yeah,
you don't want to hear
if
this,
we
you
don't
could click
speak
away.
on it, there is no telling who's going to or who's going to try to shut that down. Most people just might try to hide it. So I think it's better that we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so,
I will
go
go
ahead,
into
Mike.
it. Dan Schneider, if you may recognize him as he is a major show producer, screenwriter, and actor. He featured in many childhood shows on the Nickelodeon broadcast, such as Drake and Josh, The Amanda Show, Zoe 101, iCarly, Sam and Cat. Almost every live action popular show that was on Nickelodeon between the years 2000 and 2014 were all produced or screenwritten by him. And the past 5 years have seen many allegations which have been over time confirmed over and over and over again by many actors and actresses and many people on the set, most recently vocally by Drake Bell and Josh Peck. We've seen that Dan Snyder unfortunately has fallen to the a very concerning trend in many Hollywood executives where many of them for some reason are really into children, which is really concerning. And he specifically made sure that his fetishes were known on set. He would ask child actors and actresses to massage him on set. He would ask them to run around barefoot. That's where you could see them. He would include all these weird feet scenes in his shows. He even endorsed different polls on Twitter asking fans to do quirky things like write your favorite character's name on your foot and post it in the replies and we'll retweet them and stuff like that. He had very weird interactions with kids outside of sets. Sure, we don't have any allegations of him having any sexual conduct with children, but we know that he definitely was looking at them in a sexual type of way and was in the grooming aspect. And it's very disheartening for a lot of people who grew up with these shows. Almost many, like I said, people that are our age grew up with this television. If we watch Nickelodeon, especially the live action broadcast, almost anybody of our age knows about iCarly and Drake and Josh, Miranda Cosgrove, Drake Bell, Josh Peck. Like these are household names, and seeing that these shows behind the scenes had children being treated in such a way is concerning, and it's not uncommon in Hollywood. So I just want to hear your opinions, your feedback from everything, from the allegations.
It's like I said, it's not uncommon in Hollywood. But unfortunately, it's weird how it's not being uncommon in just in general sense. Like it's been a thing on YouTube as well now.
Mm-hmm.
I say if you think back to stuff like Mini Lad,
Being like, yeah.
um, just stuff like that is like okay, what it really is going on. But I think the reason most of this is coming to light now, and I'll kind of reference if the Cat Williams podcast he had with Shannon Sharp. He said it then that 2024 is the year of truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so far this year, I've seen nothing but just truth coming out in so many different aspects about so many different things. So I think this is just another one of those things on the totem pole that's going to come out and might make or break some people, might make people feel a weird way, but unfortunately, truth has to come out somewhere. Can't stay hidden for long.
Mm.
That's one of my favorite quotes by a rapper I know. His name is Whit Lowry. Um, I don't know if it's by him or somebody else, but what's done in the dark always find a way to shine.
Mm.
So no matter what you do in the dark, at any point in your life, at some point in your life, light will be shed on it, and it'll come out, whether you want it to or not.
Mm. Almost certainly. What about you, Angel?
So, you know, like I said, we watched these shows for many years, and I mean, none of us would have thought what was going on behind the scenes until I guess years later is when like you said, the truth comes out eventually.
Mm.
Um, hopefully, this whole situation um gets people to, I guess, speak up on their current situation, on what they're going through without being feared,
Mm.
or without fear. Because we don't know if this is happening anywhere else on any sets,
Yeah,
productions. Hopefully, right here, what's coming out now, shines light onto everyone else. Hopefully, people that are going through something, that are scared.
Mm.
Um, so it's I guess you could see it as an eye opener for people that are in fear of what could happen.
Yeah. And may I pause you
Obviously,
for a quick second? You brought up a good point about people being able to speak up, and I'm not sure if many of you know, but Jeanette McCurdy, who was also on the shows of Sam and Cat and iCarly, she actually spoke of this about almost 10 years ago, and most people completely shut her down
I
and
think I
thought that
remember that. Yeah,
yeah,
hmm
exactly. People were not taking her accusations seriously at all. And now that, like you said, we're in this era where people are now actually able to come out in mass and talk about it. Now you're seeing the vindication for celebrities like Jeanette McCurdy, who was brave at the time to come out and speak for herself at a time where it wasn't respected or just shot off because she's doing it for clout or whatever. When it was true, she was being heard on set and she was speaking out for her and her coworkers, and now it sucks that it's taken this long for it to now been revealed. But go ahead, Angel, as you're saying.
so yeah, I mean, hopefully, um, obviously, he had, I mean, his allegations. I mean, he said he's owned up to it. I mean, he's admitted to it. So, like I said, this is seen as an opportunity to say what you got to say and what you are going through without being scared. With the current situation, people are going to listen right now. So if you got something to say, it's time to say it now while you still have a chance to be helped, on to get rid of these type of people in these industries, more mainly, and to I guess have a better work environment in those type of situations for kids mainly, because it seems like kids are the ones who are getting taken advantage of, because obviously they're kids. They're trying to, I guess, make their names out there, so they'll do what they have to do. And if a producer is telling them, if you do this and you don't tell nobody, we'll help you. And kids are scared because this is their career, their lives they're trying to build off of, and they're going to lose it because someone's abusing their power. It is This is hopefully with this now coming out and people exposing the truth, people, you know, voicing what they've been hiding for years, is now a good opportunity for people to now express themselves without people thinking they're crazy, or they're speaking nonsense. So now that this is a current situation that is really, really like buzzing, you don't be surprised you start hearing more stuff come out now. Now that this is a topic that's being talked about right now with a lot of celebrities from the past and their situation, and they want people, they're saying this their story now so that no one else could go through what they went through.
No,
yeah.
it,
So
I
it's
also
good.
think that this is going to cause a catalyst on the YouTube side of things.
mm,
There's probably a lot of things going on through YouTube that have not had light shed on,
mm,
like when you had the whole own record versus the Vanoss crew thing. And that shed light on a bunch of things that happened was either basically I do work or H2O Delirious.
Mm.
And then you have the whole mini lad situation, unfortunately, which is unfortunately not the first of its kind. I don't think it's going to be the last for a while either. Fortunately, this is probably just going to keep happening, but I think it's going to get to the point where it's easier to call it out. There's going to be a lot more public for people to know. So you can't do it as easily. And I hope that becomes the case. And I hope it becomes the case where these people can actually be punished in some way and reprimanded for doing such things like this. Right now, there's not much for it. Right now, the most you can have is you can look up registered sex offenders and know exactly where they live. But in all honesty, I don't know what that does for anybody. Yeah, you know where they live, but what is that going to change?
It's only affected like top Hollywood executives, like as we all know, like Jeffrey Epstein, who was sentenced to prison. I don't remember how long his term was before. Obviously, he took his own life, depending on what you believe. But it, like you said, it doesn't tend to affect the YouTube side of things much. Like Minilad, I'm pretty sure still uploads videos pretty consistently. Yes, his audience has shrunk, but he still has an audience despite everything that's been said about him. And it's really concerning, both Hollywood industry, even at some people's own jobs. Some people go to work and their employers will harass them, sexually or non-sexually. And
Unfortunately, I've seen it firsthand, and it's disgusting. This is just truly disgusting.
And as both of you said, it's one thing that has to have light shone on it, like every single moment, to ensure that we first can prevent it and then air out and get those that are doing it out of here. And until that day happens, which will most likely never, as humans will continue being humans, we will always have bad apples, unfortunately. But as long as we make it as scarce as possible, we are moving towards the right direction where we can help these people. And it's like I said at the beginning, it is disheartening to see it as prevalent as it is, both in things that we've been consuming since our childhood, to people that we looked up to in media, on YouTube, on Twitch, in the movie industry, wherever. It's just very disheartening to see actions like this being taken by people that you would say that you might trust, that you might admire, want to be like in the future. So,
yeah.
But
What?
if there's nothing that either of you want to add, we are going to wrap up this episode. Yeah, it's a heavy topic, but
oh yeah.
For those who are joining us back here at the end, Angel, if you want to close us off as usual.
With that being said, well, this is episode 20, a special edition to be exact. I guess special guest, return, whatever you want to call it. But obviously, we had some good topics, good feedback. Obviously, it's a good to have another voice talk with us. You might be surprised. We might have more people. We might come back. We don't know. We'll see. But like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you know when we upload. Comment down below what you like, what you want us to talk about, and let us know what you think of our guest. And also follow our socials, which will be in the link down below.
Yep.
And his socials will be down there as well.
Yep.
Make sure you go follow him on his socials, Twitch, YouTube, all that good stuff. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bye.